Maya and Freedom, Part 4. What happens then? The scene begins to shift. As soon as you know the voice and understand what it is, the whole scene changes. The same world which was the ghastly battlefield of Maya is now changed into something good and beautiful. We no longer curse nature, nor say that the world is horrible and that it is all vain. We need no longer weep and wail. As soon as we understand the voice, we see the reason why this struggle should be here. This fight, this competition, this difficulty, this cruelty, these little pleasures and joys, we see that they are in the nature of things because without them, there would be no going towards the voice, to attain which we are destined, whether we know it or not. All human life, all nature, therefore, is struggling to attain to freedom. The sun is moving towards the goal, so it is the earth encircling round the sun, so is the moon encircling round the earth. To that goal, the planet is moving and the air is blowing. Everything is struggling towards that. That the saint is going towards that voice, he cannot help it. It is no glory to him. So is the sinner. The charitable man is going straight towards that voice and cannot be hindered. The miser is also going towards the same destination. The greatest worker of good hears the same voice within and he cannot resist it. He must go towards the voice, so with the most arrant idler. One stumbles more than another, and him who stumbles more we call bad. Him who stumbles less we call good. Good and bad are never two different things. They are one and the same. The difference is not one of kind but of degree. Now, if the manifestation of this power of freedom is really governing the whole universe, applying that to religion, our special study, we find this idea has been the one assertion thought throughout. Take the lowest form of religion where there is worship of departed ancestors or certain powerful and cruel gods. What is the prominent idea about the gods or departed ancestors? That they are superior to nature, not bound by its restrictions. The worshipper has no doubt very limited ideas of nature. He himself cannot pass through a wall nor fly up into the skies, but the gods whom he worships can do these things. What is meant by that philosophically? That the assertion of freedom is there, that the gods whom he worships are superior to nature as he knows it. So, with those who worship still higher beings. As the idea of nature expands, the idea of the soul, which is superior to nature, also expands, until we come to what we call monotheism, which holds that there is Maya, nature, and that there is some being who is the ruler of this Maya. Here Vedanta begins, where these monotheistic ideas first appear. But the Vedanta philosophy wants further explanation. This explanation that there is a being beyond all these manifestations of Maya, who's superior to and independent of Maya, who's attracting us towards himself, and that we are all going towards him, is very good, says the Vedanta. But yet the perception is not clear. The vision is dim and hazy, although it does not directly contradict reason. Just as in your hymn it is said, "Nearer, my God, to thee," the same hymn would be very good to the Vedantin, only he would change a word and make it, "Nearer, my God, to me." The idea that the goal is far off, far beyond nature, attracting us all towards it, has to be brought nearer and nearer without degrading or degenerating it. The God of heaven becomes the God in nature, and the God in nature becomes the God in and the God of heaven becomes the God in nature, and the God in nature becomes the God who is nature, and the God who is nature becomes the God within this temple of the body, and the God dwelling in the temple of the body at last becomes the temple itself, because the soul and man, and there it reaches the last words it can teach. He whom the sages have been seeking in all these places is in our own hearts. The voice that you heard was right, says the Vedanta, but the direction you gave to the voice was wrong. That ideal of freedom that you perceived was correct, but you projected it outside yourselves, and that was your mistake. Bringing it nearer and nearer until you find that it was all the time within you, it was the self of your own self. That freedom was your own nature, and this Maya never bound you. Nature never has power over you. Like a frightened child, you were dreaming that it was throttling you, and release from this fear is the goal. Not only to see it intellectually, but to perceive it, actualize it much more different, definitely than we perceive this world. Then we shall know that we are free. Then and then alone will all difficulties vanish. Then will all the perplexities of heart be smoothed away, all crookedness made straight. Then will vanish the delusion of manifoldness and nature. And Maya, instead of being a horrible, hopeless dream as it is now, will become beautiful. And this earth, instead of being a prison house, will become our playground. And even dangers and difficulties, even all sufferings, will become defied and show us their real nature, will show us that behind everything, as the substance of everything, He is standing and He is the one real self.